Welcome along to episode 819 of the Mill Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we're joined by Jackie Morrison. She is in an Inspector Calls at the Grand Theatre this week. We'll be finding out about the show and Mrs. Burling from her. Adam, Sarah, and James, part of the cast of Brownhills Musical Theatre Company's production of Jesus Christ Superstar, will be along for a bit of a natter. I went along to their rehearsals. Asha Manhot let us know being part of International Ms. UK, which is taking place this weekend. Duncan Goodhew let us know about Swimathon 2025 and how you could be part of that. Harper and Hubble share some music and news of a re-release of their back catalogue. Plus, we'll be talking to Phil Mountford about being forever Elton. He's on the way at the Stafford Gatehouse this month too. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Now, Inspector Calls is at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 4th through to the 8th of March. J.B. Priestley's classic thriller returning to the stage. More than 5 million people have seen this in a theatre worldwide. We're expecting nearly that many at the Grand. Jackie Morrison is here to tell us about her role in it. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, I mean, this is an absolutely massive production, an awesome story, and one which is still studied in the national curriculum to this date.
I know it is, which is fantastic. My son did it only a year and a half ago, so he got to see the previous tour.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's great for the play that it's on the curriculum because we get huge audiences, but we don't just get schools, obviously, but it's packed out wherever we go.
And say this is one of those must-see shows, and I haven't seen it yet. So this for me, this is
Oh,
absolutely essential viewing. I'm looking forward to being there opening night.
do you know the play?
I don't know enough about now because
Oh,
when I was at school, we read a Kestrel for Knave, and that was about it. So
well, I'm so pleased that you don't really know it because the way that it's been directed and designed, it's a spectacle. It's so impressive, and it takes you on this huge journey of a sort of thriller. It's almost like a thriller, a psychological thriller. That's what I would call it, with twists and turns. And it's great if you've never read it or never seen it because it'll just unfold in front of you.
and this is what I'm looking forward to. And now I'm sure there'll be many people who will have seen this before and be looking to come back. Because even if you have seen it before, there is detail. And the fact that this is a different production
Mhm.
to what you may have seen before as well, over what, decades,
Yes.
this is an opportunity to live this in a new light.
Yes, I mean it originated at the National. The Stephen Daldry directed it, and since then, it's been taken on. Peter Wilson took it on and took it to the Garrick in London. Then it's toured like every couple of years since then, and the blueprint of the play and the set is the same, but obviously the actors change. So with that comes you give your own little nuances to the performance of the character. But it's such a thrill to be in. It's such a well-written play. G.B. Priestley really knew what he was doing, and it's a treat. It's a treat to play Mrs. Burling, who is awful. But she thinks she, knows everything. She's impervious, I would say, and self-righteous, and won't has sort of no empathy for people. Do you know who I base her on, actually? Well, not all of it, but some of her on Margaret Thatcher.
When you were describing, I thinking that there's a Thatcher-esque feel to this one as well, and the
Yes,
display that she put on for the public. So yeah, it's
yes,
almost as if it gives you that sort of lack of vulnerability. You
yes.
can't be tarnished.
No, no, there is no vulnerability there at all. And but so what happens is the opening of the play, the Burlings, which is the family, are celebrating the engagement of their daughter to Gerald Croft. And he's kind of step up the ladder for the Burlings. And so they're very pleased with themselves, sitting around, drinking port, laughing. And then suddenly a mysterious inspector turns up on the door and
Hmm.
wants to interrogate each one of them about a girl. Well, I won't tell you anymore. If no one sees this, I don't want to tell you
It's,
anymore.
it,
But
it is it's a difficult one, I suppose. I mean, we know that there's a death. We know that
Yes.
Inspector Gould has turned up at this dinner party, and
Yes.
I mean. How does the dinner party work? I mean, that's going to be an interesting one because that's something. It's an interesting way of representing on stage, isn't it? So that's no spoilers there. If we talk about what canapes you have.
Well, do you know what? We sit in the house and I'm like, what shall we pretend that we're having today? And I go, I wonder if they would have had like, I don't know. Sometimes we try to make up ideas. You don't see us eating. Do you know what? I'm not even going to say because the set is such a spectacular design that if I say anything, it'll give it away.
Okay, this is an interesting tease. I'm enjoying this completely. This
Yes.
is really good. So tell us about the rest of the team you're working with on this
Uh-huh.
amazing piece.
I mean, we really are, I would say, a happy crew. There's a troupe of strolling players, and we're moving week to week from different venues, which we have been doing since August. Actually, in August, we were at the Alexandra Palace in London for 4 weeks, which was fantastic. But you know, cast and crew, everyone, we're really lucky. Everyone is, it's a grueling schedule, and everyone
Hmm.
gets on really well. And I know that people go, oh, but they really, they really do. And on Friday, we do two shows a day apart from a Friday. And so Friday, we sort of try to get together. So the other week in Hull, we went to Laser Station and had a laser battle. And we've done sort of various things like that when we were in
That'd be fun to do in costume, wouldn't it?
Ah, yes. I don't think I would be able to get around. My costume's massive and my wig, it would get tilted. But you know, we've been to Alton Towers. We're in Blackpool this week, so we might go to the tower and have do a tea dance on a Friday.
Oh, this is part of enjoying the life on the road, and I'm sure we can offer you some amazing things to do in Wolverhampton when you're here.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll have to see where you end up. But yeah, if you could wear the wig to one of the events as well, just for a bit of publicity, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how pleased the wig master would be about that, but yeah, I mean, I'll give anything a go. Laser station with a Mrs. Burling's wig on would be quite funny.
I like the idea of that. But I mean, just could make you a larger target though, which is the problem. But
I was hopeless. I thought I was good, but no, totally average.
well, as I say, you have fun doing that sort of thing. You will absolutely love being part of the show still, I know that much. And
Yeah.
exploring the characters and the way in which they are interacting at this party. Again, this is something, it sort of drags you into a world you don't often see. Because when we go to a party, we're very often putting on a front and a show. But
Yes.
you're never sure in this production, though, who's front and who is hiding something more sinister.
Yes. Well, they all have secrets to hide. And I think the interesting thing is that they just brush it off. They're not even aware of their responsibility and to others. And the inspector's coming along to talk about this girl, and they each have done something to her which has led to this girl's death. And some of them, the younger ones, I would say, the younger characters in it, the children are more, oh my gosh, maybe we do have something to do with it. But Mr. and Mrs. Burling, they're too far gone. You know, they're just fat cats sitting in their house, so pleased with themselves, and absolutely refuse to believe that they are responsible for anyone other than themselves. But their
Absolutely.
family, in Act Three, you really sort of see a crumbling of the family. The inspector leaves, and you see this mess that they're left in, and they're having to look at each other for the first time as the people they really are.
Mhm.
And some do, and some can't. And yeah, it's really fantastic play.
Well, who will develop a conscience? Who won't? How will it
Mm,
work? And who will be involved to the point at which they take responsibility for what's happened? Or will they continue to try and deny it? You can find
yes,
out with an inspector's calls at the Grand. Interestingly, an hour and 50 minutes with no interval. That's an unusual way of seeing a play these days.
yes. It's less than that actually. We always go. It's round about 1 hour 43, and it
Okay.
flies by.
It's going to be amazing for those who have not seen before, me included, and for those who are revisiting it in the format that it's in now. As you say, you open on Tuesday, the 4th of March. That one is at 7:30. Then
Mhm.
Wednesday, Thursday, you've got the 2:30 and the 7:30 performances. Then on Friday, it's your you're doing stuff day. You'll
Friday
be
fun
there.
day.
Yeah, and you'll be there for the evening performance then, and then Saturday once again, a 2:30 and a 7:30 performance. All of these are now limited availability, so you need to get in there quick. grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets, or call the box office on 01902 429212 and get yourself involved in a dinner party when an inspector calls at the Grand. Well, Jackie Morrison, have a brilliant time out on the road. Break a leg. Don't injure yourself laser questing or whatever it is you're doing in Wolverhampton. And we look forward to seeing you on stage from the 4th of March.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
From the 6th through to the 10th of May, Brownhills Musical Theatre are back in action. This time round it is Jesus Christ Superstar. And I have Judas, Mary and Jesus with me now. Who'd have thought it? How you doing, gang?
All right, thank you.
Right, which end are we going to start? We should start with Jesus. James.
James.
Yes. So well, it's almost just like a cool name in itself, doesn't it? So it's confusing when you have a disciple name, but you're playing Jesus. What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm playing Jesus. Very different to the role when you came and watched Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Absolutely.
Very different. Still long hair though, probably.
Yeah.
But yes. So I'm playing Jesus. And I mean, there's not really much to say.
But it is slightly different in as much as it's not the look that maybe people expect. The costumes are somewhat different, aren't they?
Yeah, so we're going for a more sort of a rocky kind of punk kind of look. So it's going.
So it means in this show we don't actually see your nipples.
Because
your nipples turn up in so many shows, it's unbelievable.
Yes, no loincloths inside in the show. But yes, we're going for a rocky aesthetic, and I guess what's been nice about playing Jesus is with this show, not only have we got sort of the Jesus we all know, there's kind of more a human side to it, and there's kind of a lot more raw emotion to him, and there's a lot more interesting things to play with, and it's been quite a challenge for a role to be quite different, and for it all to be sung as well. Obviously, that's part of the challenge, trying to get what you want to say across, but also sing it in an interesting way as well.
But you rock a beard in this too.
Well, we don't know yet. There's still
because you can't grow one, can you?
Well, I try my very hard.
You haven't started puberty yet, have you?
This is as good as it gets. But yes, we're still trying to half decide how that look's going to go. But yes, it is likely.
Well, it's only May. If you're actually going to grow something real, I think you're a bit behind schedule.
Yeah.
It may require a lot of glue. Yeah. Brett knows who to talk to for that sort of thing. So, on to Mary then. Tell us a bit about how you're going to take this, because you've got an emotional role too, haven't you?
Yeah, it's really interesting because I'm going into it as someone who didn't really know the show before. And I think there's so many different interpretations of the show and so many different ways that people take the characters, because I was trying to watch versions when I was rehearsing for my audition and things, and it's like every version you watch, she's kind of portrayed in a different way. So I've sort of just been able to go into it with my own interpretation and form my own opinions of the character, and like just sort of listen to the songs and see what I think she'd be like. And it's been like a really collaborative process, like working with the directors as well, because we've all been sharing our opinions. So it's been sort of something that we've like been building together rather than just being like told what to do. It's been a very like group effort putting the whole thing together, which has been really nice.
And having seen so many different versions, is there anything that you think is going to be surprisingly different about your take on this?
We've decided that the version of Mary in this one, she's going to be played a lot more like, she doesn't mess about. She doesn't like take being spoken down to from anyone. Mm-hmm. She's got a bit more of an attitude than other versions you might see.
So power Mary in this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
And we've gone from the holy through to the concerned through to the evil one. Judas says for us how to cover.
I'm not having evil.
Okay, deceptive and betraying one.
Or betrayed. That's
okay.
what I love about this character is he thinks he's right. Mm-hmm. He thinks what he's doing is right. He sees.
Well, it would have wrecked the rest of the Bible if he hadn't done it.
It would. Well, that's kind of part of the thing. He don't want to spoil the ending.
I think most people know this one.
But he does come to the conclusion that it wasn't. He had no part in it. He was chosen for this fate.
It was almost like Claudia was stood behind him, touched his shoulder, and that was it. It had to happen.
Something like that, but it's kind of, I think that's what the piece kind of deals with, is how much in that story is choices made by people who are real people and what they did, or how much is it from a hand beyond playing pieces. and making sure that the events happened exactly the way they did.
And somewhat different to 2,000 years ago, this has got some amazing musical numbers.
Absolutely. This is a dream role. I've got 3 of my favourite ever songs in musical theatre to sing, so it's... and then, you know, I don't have to love him from this one here and Gethsemane from that one over there. Our vocal pipes are well worked in this show.
Absolutely, and I think it's another amazing reason for doing this show, and it's something that's brought to everybody. Whatever background you're from, you probably know this story in some way or form. The religious text behind it appears in a lot of different books, and not just the Bible as we know it. So this is accessible, and so we said that the looks could be somewhat different, which I think is going to make it a bit more exciting as well for you all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what I like about it. I'm not a religious person, but I've been obsessed with this show since I was a young person, not just because of the musical, because it takes what is taught as to most people as a very hard line, this happens this way, it's very factual, into, well, what are these people, what would it be like, you know, Judas himself, you know, in the Bible there's not much written about his motives, it's just he betrays Jesus. So Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice went, well, what were his motivations? What was his state of mind? What led him to do that? And I think we get the same with Mary. And then with Jesus, with Gethsemane, you know, so many characters voicing through incredible songs emotions that we don't think about when we just hear the story as this is what happened in the story of the crucifixion.
And playing Mary as well, I mean, you've got interactions which go through the whole cast, don't you? You've got to express yourself in different ways to different members of the disciples and the other characters.
Yeah, I've got quite a few relationships to keep track of. No, yeah, it's because, I mean, like I said, I didn't know the show at all before. I just sort of know, you know, the story of the Bible that everyone knows. So I really just didn't know what to expect, but I really enjoyed, like, you know, researching the character and things like that as well, and, you know, exploring her relationship with Jesus, figuring out the relationship with Judas. Like, it's been really interesting to actually not only play the part but really think about, you know, who she was and what she would have done and how she would have been around these people, because she had quite like a difficult story. Like, I think it's really interesting to actually try and get into that and try and portray that through the character.
Mm-hmm. And James, first time you've been nailed to a cross?
Yes, I mean, I have actually done this show before, and I played the role of Peter a long time ago, about 10 years
But Peter's a cool role, though, isn't
He
it?
is, yeah. He's standing right over there.
Yeah, we have Peter in the room with us, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, no, that's going to be certainly interesting. Emotions that are going to be really tricky to portray, I think. I think there's a lot of...
Well, you've got to put yourself through the ringer for this one, because you know the moral behind the whole thing is Jesus dying for everybody else. You've got that literally on your shoulders.
Yeah, once we get through midway through the show, it's not fun for Jesus for the rest of for most of Act 2. But yeah, there's some really pivotal moments and some really heart-wrenching moments as well that are really gonna, you know, cause some tears, I think.
Absolutely, well, all for the right reasons,
Exactly.
alongside the amazing singing that we're going to hear as well. It's all taking place at the Lichfield Garrick. It is from the 6th through to the 10th of May. They are Brownhills Musical Theatre Company. You can find them on Facebook and probably on Instagram too, as they prepare for the show. If you want to grab tickets, 01543 412 121 or lichfieldgarrick.com to grab them that way. Break a leg, have a brilliant time with it, and I know you will all be amazing.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, friends of the show, Harper and Hubble, have got their music available in new formats and via new vendors. And they're here to tell me what's going on, including, I'm sure, some more work from them, because they're always producing new tunes. Hello, boys. How are we doing?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Good. So, for the uninitiated, let's have introductions, please.
Right, my name's Andy Hubble, and I'm the second part of Harper and Hubble. Now I'll hand you over to the other part of Harper and Hubble.
So I'm Paul Harper then, and I'm the first part then, Andy, if you're the
Yeah, that's
second.
it.
I'll be promoted. There you go.
And quite a pairing it is as well. You've been producing music for, I'm going to guess, it's more than a decade you've been working together, isn't it? Is it more like 20 years now?
Time's up by a few, yeah.
As Harper and Hubble, you've worked on different projects.
We've known each other for a while now. But this project, I suppose you're right, a decade or so. yeah, 10 years, I think, isn't it? We started recording about 2016, I think, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah, that was the first release. Yeah.
So we're getting on for our first 10 years now, yeah.
But in that
Yeah.
10 years, how many albums? What's the total now?
Oh, crap. Well, Harper and Hubble, there's 5 projects as we call them. And I've spoke to you this before, relax, listen, I've got about 15 projects. But I'll explain what's happened. We've actually left our previous distributor and we've set up our own label, if you like. And right at this minute, all our music has disappeared out of the stores. But by the time we get to the 28th of this month, the first of the albums will be coming back online again.
And this is going to be sort of a gradual release, whetting people's appetites if they're new to it, or
Yeah.
if they've just not had the opportunity to pick it up before. This is their chance. I mean, it all gets going. I say, Reflections is where you start, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's album number 1.
Yeah, we're kind of going back to that. We've kind of spruced things up a little bit and repackaged things. And so for anyone that hasn't seen or heard the album before, it'll be a completely new thing. Anyone that knows of it, it's going to look in a slightly different format, but it'll be a very similar thing. But the idea is to get the first couple of albums out quite quickly, and then get the rest redistributed and put onto the platforms pretty quickly while we're working on the new project.
And there's always a new project. There's always something else going on.
Yeah, we're always like tinkering away at something. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, the music itself, I mean, there's not just one genre here, is there? That's the other thing. You dip in and out of whatever pleases you at the time.
Yeah, we have been accused of that. But we record what we like. That's the gist of it. We're into different styles of music anyway, but we do record and write what we like anyway.
I think that's what music's all about. I think you have to do something that's important to you, that you feel yourself, and then you create that, and you hope that someone else buys into it and likes it. But you are right, Jason. There are a lot of different kind of influences from like folk and rock and bluesy type of stuff in there. A little bit of electronic type of stuff as well. So there's a lot of different genres that meld together, but we try and put them together in such a way that it's not too diverse. But there's a few things that I think most people with different backgrounds, different genres, and different influences of music may like. So it's that's the idea.
Well, when you perform live for me, we've almost had indie rock in places as well, haven't we? It's got whatever feel it happens to take your fancy.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's that myriad, that mishmash of all the different artists that we've admired over the years. And it does seep into your own writing, obviously, and your own influences. And so whether that's a good or a bad thing, only the public can really say. But we don't try and pigeon ourselves into one particular hole. Yeah.
No, it's good to have two names, Harper and Hubble, and who knows what could be in that. And there's all sorts in the middle there, isn't there? So that's all good.
There's a story about that. Everybody says we're Harper and Hubble, but
it's an N. It's an N.
Yeah. Because for some strange reason, the stores won't let you use and.
Oh, right.
Or ampersand. I don't know why that is.
Or an ampersand. You can't use and or an ampersand. Because we're from the originally from the Black Country, we say anyway. So it's Harper and Hubble.
It works, and that's I was about to go on and say when you are looking at your own releases, you can be even more diverse. You haven't got it, so you're not talking to a label going, well, this one's going to have to go into this category. It is just now Harper and Hubble music.
Yeah. Well, we've actually dropped the music as well. Mm-hmm. We know just Harper and Hubble.
Yeah, the interesting. Sorry, Andy, carry on.
Yeah, so I mean, if anybody's looking for us, just put Harper Hubble or Harper and Hubble, and it'll find us.
And your ears will thank you for it. I think that's pretty much the guarantee. So that's going to work. And so the new projects then. So and the release schedule. So what is your feel for the time it's going to take to do this?
Right. The way the stores work, it takes nearly a month to get something up onto the stores, because we, believe it or not, we deliver to about 60 odd stores.
Mm-hmm.
From the main ones, which is iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, and all those type of stores, it literally takes them that amount of time to get you in there. So we say, well, what we'll try and do is we'll get the first 2 out within the first 7-8 weeks, but then when we're ready, we'll start getting the rest out soon afterwards. Sorry, Paul, you
I was going to say, we have got, because we've changed the publisher, we've got a bit more, it's a bit more autonomous for us now. We've got a little bit more control about how we want to release stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons that we parted way with the other publisher, it was getting a little bit constrictive, and also the royalty thing. As you know, with music, we get stuff on Spotify, and it's nothing really. You have to get those and so on. So we just didn't feel that deal was right for us, and it was a time for a parting of the ways. And what it's also allowed us to do is kind of look at doing our own little record label through this publisher, which is something a little bit different for us. And it obviously it gives us, let's say, this autonomous nature to do what we want to do. But maybe it'll open up a pathway for us to look at, maybe if we want to work with other artists in the future, develop another artist or another singer or another band. That could be something possible that we may, explore in the future, something different. I'd like to think we've got the kind of the skill set over the years of recording and engineering, producing. We do a bit of obviously the writing and stuff. So we could maybe help somebody along the way if that opportunity presents itself.
Well, they would be in good hands if there is any mentoring that takes place. We know that. Yeah. So give us all the details on the socials, where we find you and all the music.
Right. Well, just to backtrack on what Paul said, we're now under MyVod Records, MyVod, MYVOD. And the socials is the standard ones, your Facebook, the standard ones. I try and do a bit of everything because we're looking after ourselves now. We got nobody looking after us. It's down to us to put stuff out there ourselves. So I'll get to as many places as I possibly can.
Yeah, rumour has it, Andy. Yeah.
Oh, rumour has it.
Well, get to all the socials. Look for Harper and Hubble. Basically, it's Paul Harper, Andy Hubble, and creating amazing tunes and doing it where they want to and when they want to, and that's pretty much endlessly. So it's going to be awesome. Check it all out. Thank you, gang, for joining us. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to an amazing 2025 filled with the music of Harper and Hubble.
All the best.
Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
9th of March, the International Miss United Kingdom event is taking place. Asha Manhot is part of it and representing Wolverhampton. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All good here. Now, I know you like to take the name of our city out and about across the UK and beyond, and it's another chance to really shine in a fantastic event.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. And this is the first time I'm ever competing in International Miss United Kingdom. I did do 2 other pageants before, but this is the first finals that are ever being held in the UK, from women who are competing from Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, as well as England. So this is the first finals that they are holding, and I'm privileged enough to be competing in just under 2 weeks.
So what are the prerequisites to be part of this one? What do you need to do?
So it's judged basically, 80% of the competition is judged on everything you do before you even get on stage. So only 20% of it is judged on your appearance and performance on stage. So beforehand, we'll have an interview on the day, and then we'll have your empowerment plan. So basically, what would you be doing with the crown and sash if you were to win? An introduction video, so it's just introducing yourself and who you are, what your platform is, and how would you empower like-minded women, and also photogenic. So there's a lot of work that I'm doing behind the scenes before the competition. So I have done my empowerment video, my introduction video, I've done my photogenic. I'm working on my social media in pushing my platform out there as well. So there's a lot of work behind this. So you can't just rock up on the day and expect to win. There is a lot of work to do, which I am doing. And to be fair, I have been doing a lot of work for the last 3 years on my platform. So I'm already there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you also do a load of amazing work for charity and awareness too, don't you? And you're fitting that all in around the extra stuff that you're doing as part of this pageant.
I do, yeah. So at the moment, I'm fundraising for Still She Rose. So this charity helps women in the pageant community on mental health and wellness program. So at the moment, I'm currently doing mental health sessions for parents with SEND children in SEND schools. So I did one at Tettenwood School a couple of weeks ago for SEND parents like myself, and it helps parents to understand their child, their emotions, if they are struggling with their mental health, or is it part of their diagnosis. I'm also helping parents with their own mental health, because I do feel like parents like me are forgotten. I'm lucky to be in an organisation that advocate mental health. So I'm using my expertise as well as being a mental health first aider in help promoting mental health to parents like myself. So that's one of the initiatives I'm doing currently, and it's very much needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is your day to day, though, isn't it? This is it's not something you do because of the pageants. It's something that you do around what's going on. And this is you 24/7, helping to not only look after your own family, but by looking after others, it looks after your family too.
Exactly. And that's why I created my platform Sending Support, which helps obviously to build a community of parents like myself. And I am now partnering with another organisation called Pathways Group, who have actually opened a centre for anyone post 16 who have SEND needs or disabilities. And that's only just open. And not many people know that's open in Wolverhampton, but I will be working in partnership with them to help with coffee mornings and delivering these mental health sessions. So if anybody wants to know about that, please get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to point those parents in the right direction.
I don't know how you fit all this in. You are so busy. It's absolutely amazing. And again, this is all part of the ethos that is you. I mean, as a city, I don't think we can thank you enough for the sort of work that you do. It's absolutely amazing. And, making connections as well. And it is all about networking, isn't it? By being there for others, you may not even have to directly help somebody to have put them in touch with something which is going to help them.
Exactly. And part of these mental health sessions that have been so amazing is talking to other parents and finding other avenues to get help and support. Like at the moment, Sending Support is only on my Instagram platform page, but I do get messages even from around the world. And I really don't know how I find time to message them back with resources, but I do go out my way to find resources and help that are in their local area. So the other week I had somebody from Newcastle asking for help. I had someone contacting me from New York, even though I don't understand how it is in America, but I am learning. So I feel like my platform sending support is bigger than what it should be, as it's only me running it. But I can't say no to parents because I never had that support. I just had to go and find my own resources, but I don't want another parent to be in the same situation that I was in. So that's why I created my platform, and it's growing. And a lot of people are sharing my platform, knowing that, I'm there. Even last night, somebody from Wolverhampton reached out to me, not realizing it was from Wolverhampton. And I was like, wow. And, it's building that community. And I really want to help people from Wolverhampton and around the world, that, they're not alone. Because I certainly felt alone 9 years ago when my son got his diagnosis.
See, I know this is the reason why you're entering the likes of the International Miss United Kingdom as well. It is to be able to raise the profile. For you, winning would be fantastic, but it's actually about being there, being part of it, and using the presence and the networking and contacts that are there to help you get a message across, allow you to be able to talk to more people, and really sort of see the difference that can be there. And as you say, something that wasn't there for you, making sure it's there for others. So I'm hugely impressed as ever with the work that you're doing. Where do we find you on all the socials?
So my Instagram handle, as well as Facebook, it's just my full name, Asha Manhot. So if you just search on Asha Manhot, my sending support page is also tagged on my main page, so you can contact me through there as well.
Asha Manhot, ASHAMANHOTA is the spelling on that one. And Sunday, the 9th of March, the event takes place. So where is it all happening?
So it will be happening in Lincolnshire at Charlotte House. So the day before, we do have an Empowerment Day for Women, for International Women's Day, which we have guest speakers from around the world coming in to help empower women. And then we have the Still She Rose party. So that's a charity that I was talking about earlier, which raises funds for that charity, which helps obviously women with wellness programs as well, and to support them.
Absolutely. Well, you keep up the good work. I wish you every success in the competition, but I know that success is measured by being there, and that's the important part. But I hope you will be taking the crown on the day, and we can again celebrate the amazing work that you do in our area with a bit of bling. That would be absolutely brilliant to see.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jason.
Well, yeah, for now, Asha Manhot, contestant in International Miss United Kingdom on the 9th of March. Thank you for joining us. In the main auditorium at the Stafford Gatehouse Theatre on the 21st of March, the music of Elton John is going to be brought to life. Forever Elton is the show. Phil Mountford, the man behind these tunes for the night, joins me now. How are you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you along. And as we speak, you are in your Elton John garb. I note that the hair is somewhat different to what I've seen you previously. And the jacket is very sparkly.
Thank you. All of these rhinestones, I think about 3,000 or 4,000 of them on this jacket, each one individually glued on by myself.
And that's a labour of love, let alone recreating the sound of these fantastic songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us how you came to be Forever Elton.
Back in 2018, my father-in-law wanted to put a charity show together. So I formed this 11-piece, I think it's 11, 12-piece band. And it was really just to raise funds because he just had a heart bypass operation. He just wanted to raise some money towards the hospital in Wolverhampton.
New Cross.
So it just came back on that. He said, well, look, I mean, I used to go out performing with him for 20 or 30 years ago, so I'm quite used to going out on stage anyway. And he said, well, why don't you actually go and perform as an act? I thought, well, I've got a piano in front of me. I really do enjoy playing Elton's music. So the guys, or some of the guys and girls who were in this charity concert, we just formed the band, and we've just gone on from there, really. So it's about 5 or 6 years ago now.
And this isn't the only string to your bow when it comes to performing in the style of. I know you're out as Billy Joel for some of your shows too.
Yeah, that's why I don't go out with this facial hair with Elton. No, this is I've got a couple of shows coming up with as Billy Joel. So this will be gone very soon.
But I mean, in the 70s, Elton sported a full sort of George Michael-esque stubble effects at times. So it's how we're used to seeing him, isn't it? That's the thing, and that's how, where you're portraying, because you're performing as the greatest hits tour.
Yeah, I think, yeah, although we're covering an awful lot of Elton's music, I mean, Elton's been performing for what, 5 decades, if not more than that. So there's a lot of music to cover, but at the same time, I'm really more of what he was like in his 50s. I mean, I am in my 50s as well. I'm not going to prance around like a 20-year-old, but it's just good to have having good fun with the music, with the band, and the totally live setting. And there's so much great music to perform, isn't there?
And it's part of the showmanship that comes with it as well, and that must be great fun.
Yeah.
The songs, they name themselves really, but is there anything that you know that you've got to play to make sure that audience is happy by the end of the night? I'm thinking there might be a brick road in there of some kind, and maybe a few reptiles.
Oh yes, yes, we'd get slaughtered if we didn't do Crocodile Rock. It tends to be the very, very last number, but yeah, there are so many, aren't there? So many iconic numbers that if you associate so much with Rocket Man, you've got Your Song, of course. I don't think we could ever do a show without those two as well. But there are loads of others as well, which we don't necessarily know. Not everybody knows the name of, but as soon as you start playing them, the melodies are there. You've just grown up with them.
Well, I mean, but even if you looked at the 90s, Made in England, that album, there's great songs on there too.
There are. I mean, one of my all-time favorites is it Running with Horses, Running Like Horses, and that is such a beautiful song. I've never heard him actually play that live, and we don't do that as yet. I think there's a duet, was it, with Pavarotti at one point? He released it. Anyway, beautiful song, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, he's written so many albums, we could have a very, very long show. So you've got to cut it down to the best 20, 22, 23 songs.
And I say that it's going to be absolutely amazing. You've got an amazing theatre at the Gatehouse to enjoy, the auditorium there, and it's about you and the band. It's a proper live music experience. You've always got a keyboard in front of you. I mean, I can't see it from where I'm sitting, but if I were to say, "Go on, Phil, give us something on the keyboard," you could now, couldn't you?
I do have a piano in front of me, yeah.
It's a little bit funny, it's feeling sad. One of my favorites. Yeah, how about
I think we're playing Spot the Intro here. So.
It's a fun game, but then again, we know them all because it's Elton, so it sounds absolutely awesome. And because you imagine that with your big band behind you as well, it's just going to be brilliant.
If you're performing this sort of music, you have to be live. I mean, that's as Elton does. That's kind of what we've looked at the arrangements Elton performs, and that's what we trying to be as honest to those as we can be.
Well, it's going to be an amazing night, and I know you're creative in all of your world. I mean, former stonemason, living in Bridge North, heading over to Stafford for a bit of an amazing night with the Forever Elton music, and travelling up and down the country performing to many thousands of people every week. It's a bit of a life, isn't it?
It's a lot of a life, actually. You've got to. I made the decision probably about 10 or 11 years ago to become a full-time musician, and it's a tricky one. Absolutely love it. Best thing I did. But you're doing it because you love it, because you don't mind being out till 2 o'clock in the morning or late nights, early mornings and all that, but and moving equipment here, there and everywhere. Because, you've got a long day when you are doing a show. We should probably be at the theatre from 2 o'clock onwards, sound checks and everything. And yeah, but it's good. We enjoy it.
Well, Forever Elton is at the Stafford Gatehouse. It is March the 21st. It's worthwhile being down there nice and early. Get your tickets now, gatehousetheatre.co.uk. You can give the box office a call on 01785619080 and have a bit of a natter with the gang there. Get yourself booked up and be ready for an amazing night of entertainment. Normally, how you'd expect to see Elton John do it, but we have Forever Elton in the shape of Phil Mountford and the rest of the team make it all happen. Have a brilliant time. Break a leg. I think we still say, because you are performing, just make sure you don't damage the glasses, the rhinestones, or the wig. But for now, Phil Mountford, thank you for joining us.
Many thanks.
Now, Swimathon is back, and this year is the world's largest swim. One of the world's most famous swimmers is Duncan Goodhew, who joins me now for a chat about it. How are you doing, sir?
Excellent, thanks, Jason. Really good. I'm at a pool at the moment. You might hear a bit of music going on as the aqua aerobics is going. Full tilt, 25 people in the water there having great time.
Okay, well, we'll let you get back to your aqua aerobics in a bit. Meanwhile, though, tell us about Swimathon this year, because it's good to catch up with you again on this one. And I know you did brilliant things last year.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, we've had nearly $750,000 people taking part, and over £55 million have been raised for charity by our swimmers. And what Swimathon is this incredible event which literally anybody can take part on. There's a challenge for everybody. You can swim it as a team, 2 to 5 people. The event's at the end of March, over the weekend. And so there's time to train for it. There's no excuses. And it's for a very, very worthy causes as well.
Yeah, well, 480 pools around the UK already signed up, and it's the 28th through to the 30th of March, as you say. And it's an initiative to get people into swimming to start off with. And the fact it's been doing charity fundraising, supporting 2 brilliant causes really helps.
Yeah, I mean, we find that, because it's around pools, we wanted charities that mean a lot to our swimmers and have something that's to do with the local areas. And of course, cancer, most of us sadly have, had our experiences with people we know and love with cancer. So Cancer Research UK, world leading cancer research, a charity, is one of them, and End of Life Care, Marie Curie. And as we know, Marie Curie is extraordinary. They help not just with end of life care at the home or the hospices. They also help with the families on organizing their finances and getting everything in line as well. So they do most incredible work. So not only by swimming are you getting fit, having fun, and having that France at that last moment when you touch the end, having achieved your goal, you've also backed these incredible charities that are helping your communities, and by swimming, keeping your pool open. So Learn to Swim carries on, and our children's children will be able to learn how to swim.
Yeah, and it's so important. Being able to swim is a useful life skill, let alone anything else. And we also remember not to be overconfident if we are out and about in open waters. But being able to swim is huge, and to be part of this, as you say, it can be anybody. You don't have to be a gold medal winning Olympic athlete to do it, and you don't have to do it at one of the 480 pools that are signed up as well, because you can actually go swimming in your own venue, can't you, between the 21st of March and 6th of April.
That's right. I mean, my Swimathon was especially designed because when we talk to people, not everybody likes going to an event because they get nervous and they don't like that. And to me, of course, I love going to events. I like a little bit of nervousness. Will I make it and all that? And even I get a bit nervous. There's my Swimathon that you can pick any pool of your choice, any distance, any challenge of your choice, up until the 6th of April, you'll be able to actually take part in that. Mm-hmm. And so we've removed some of the barriers to stop people being a part of something that's so special.
Yeah, they feel they want to be part of it, don't want to be left out. So you can choose from 400 meters to 5 kilometers, or a triple 5K if you're again
Not
that
for
Olympic
me,
gold
not
medalist.
for me. I mean, I'm a taps and back man. 2 lengths and I'm done. I was a
Right.
sprinter. So the 5,000 is enough for me. Triple K, 5K is a long distance. Now, it's wonderful. I mean, I met one family. Daniel was 5 years old. He swam 1 length, and his parents swam 199 lengths. There's not many events that you can take a 5-year-old to and be part of it. In another case, I had a father and a son. The father had a heart attack. And the father was going, I must get my son fit so he doesn't suffer the heart attack I did. And the son was going, I must get my father fit so he doesn't, so he's with me for longer. So you get all these brilliant different stories where it's not just about the swimming, it's about the relationships you have with the people you're with and the chance afterwards to have a pizza or whatever and celebrate together that you've done something amazing. Whatever.
Absolutely.
Your challenge is from 400 meters on upwards.
Well, this is the world's biggest swim event. It is Swimathon 2025, celebrating the fact that this has been such a labour of love by everyone involved, raising so many good funds for charity into its 40th year and that anniversary on the way. So this just gets better and better, doing good and helping keep people fit. You can't go wrong here, can you?
Yeah, I mean, we have people who have come years and years in a row. Some like me have done every year, and because it's just such a it's so different from a lot of the bigger events, which you've got tens of thousands of people turning up. This is about you going down to your local pool, supporting your local community with people that you know. And supporting everything that's right in our communities, and it's just it's one of those things that just oozes goodwill of the right thing and the good feelings that run off the back of that.
Well, as we said, you can be part of the whole event from the 21st of March through to the 6th of April at any pool. The 480 pools which are taking part in the main event, that actually happens on the 28th and through to the 30th of March. That's when that's going on. And there are training plans online as well as all the details on how you register, aren't there?
Yeah, we have a little place called the training zone. So all you do is go on to swimathon.org on the internet web thing worldwide. And so once you get onto swimathon.org, there's a whole raft of different resources that you can use, including the training zone to help you get fit. They've got listed all the pools taking part and all the different challenges. And as we were talking about my Swimathon, if you want to build your own special event which you're a part of with nobody else, so it gives you that opportunity too.
However you want to do it, wherever you are in the world, it seems you can take part and enjoy your swimming. Swimathon.org for all those details. Duncan Goodhew, gold medalist, thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
That's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 820 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.